We've taken our expanded ship and are heading to space to salvage what might be all the components we need to build our survival kit, cryopod, and the all-important jump drive to be able to escape from Pertam. We might be able to get all the components we need to build the jump drive, survival kit, and cryopod on this salvage run. What we're looking for is thruster components, and anything with silver. Silver bearing blocks tend to be on the inside of ships, so bringing the drone is exactly what we need to go spelunking on the inside of these wrecks. Wreck 1. It just seems to be the salvage that keeps on giving, and it hasn't even been fully salvaged and explored yet. It's pretty sizable. There's a few more ion thrusters on the outside. We'll make sure to get all those. Rather than move Hail Mary, we'll deploy the drone and check around on the side. When we go inside, we'll be specifically looking for survival kits, medical rooms, gravity generators, and reactors. Those are the things with silver, and we need that silver, in addition to the thruster components. So we'll let the drone grab these ion thrusters. Alright, now let's take a look around the inside and see what we can see. Some living quarters, some sort of engine room. There's a small cargo container. It could have something, but we'll stay on task. I'm not seeing what we need here. We'll get the drone back and keep looking. We've picked up another uninvestigated Mayday signal, so that'll be the next stop. This is a funky little ship. That might even be a refinery block that's not welded. Before anyone gets too excited, even if I did salvage it intact off the ship and weld it to completion, it's still of no use in this challenge. Rather than preventing the ability to just place a refinery on the toolbar, I actually nerfed the production capability, so it basically produces nothing. We'll get this intact ion thruster though. Ooh, a little grav gen in there, we'll get that. Well, I've lost mag boot contact inside the ship. That's a problem, but it should be okay. I'll just bump the ship up, then release the console. And that now has caused my drone to go flying. And I know why. I'd set the batteries to recharge, so now it's floating away diagonally and uncontrolled. This may look easier than it was, but after trying to catch up to the drone and reconnect, I realized the only way to do this was to turn the inertial dampeners off and free float the ship to try to match the same direction and velocity as the drone. It took a bit of doing, but this was a space docking procedure I needed to do. Not because of losing the drone, but because this would be a good test of my piloting skills. And this is, after all, a survival challenge. There, we've got it. We'll turn those batteries back on and get over to our familiar trade station to see if we can buy more data pads. We've run into a third problem, and it's very peculiar. Every time I try to enter the station, the ship tips up like I'm hitting something. I've tried this a few times, and there's plenty of clearance, but it's like an invisible voxel is on top, hitting something. What I'm afraid of is having the ship violently toss itself about, get stuck, start clanging about, and all that. So I'm cautiously testing out different things here. Okay, it's resolved itself. Sort of. It might be the drone as a subgrid or something else, but after several tries, it finally let me in and out of the station without a problem. Very strange. And now, to make it worse, the station didn't have any data pads for sale at this time, so it was all a waste. We'll get back to our salvaging and overcoming the problems and see what we can find. I don't remember much about Wreck 3, but we'll send in the drone to scout around the ship and get to work. I can see it has a couple ion thrusters and a fully intact gravity generator. We'll get all 3 of those for sure. On this loose bit of wreckage, it looks like a small reactor, or possibly another gravity gen. We'll get it in any case, because it may have some good silver. Ah, it was a gravity generator. I recognize the component. We'll snag that up with our mag plate on the drone and carry it back to the rear porch of the ship. Okay, things are starting to turn positive after all our starting problems. I think what I'll do now is hack the connector on the ship so I'll be able to dock and lock. Next, we'll back up as close as we can to the hydrogen tank and hack that. With a little luck, we then should be able to connect to this wreck and refill our hydrogen tanks from what's on the wreck. It's working. We'll stockpile fill our own tanks, then get on with our salvaging. We'll mark it though as a refilling station for our survival. It could come in very handy. I have though the tiniest of problems again. I need to drop off the drone back at the trade station, but it's full of components. And Hail Mary is also filled up with parts we've salvaged. So what I'll do is build a temporary cargo container, unload the drone, and continue on. There's almost always a solution. It took some loading by hand, but it's done. So now to the trade station to drop off the drone. The drone is all secured. Let's use our fancy automated solar array folding to tuck that out of the way. Then go into the station and look for data pads. See, this time it goes right in, no problem. Maybe it was the drone as a subgrid. Who knows? Okay, no data pads, but that's fine. I believe we probably have enough of everything to build what we need. So we might as well get back to our base on Pertam and get busy. We're at 142,000 kilograms. Everything's looking good. We're coming in at night this time, but we'll level off again around 4,000 meters, and this time, truly be careful with our landing. We're back, and the ship is certainly looking good these days. In fact, the whole base has finally come together with a kind of multi-leveled look to it. Okay.
The time has come.
We're going to build our survival kit on the ship, which is our second one, to avoid the instant permadeath situation we've had all this time in the series. We've got the original survival kit on the rover, the one we hacked at the space pirate station that may also work as a respawn point, and now this one. So I'm feeling much safer now. Next, we'll disassemble some of the gravity generators we salvaged and turn the silver into medical components for our cryopod. The cryopod will be critical for server gameplay, and I plan to post it on the Steam Workshop once it's all done, so other folks can try it out and see what they think. It may not seem like one jump drive would need more space, but after you've been working on small grid blocks for a while, the large grid ones can be astonishingly big. And I started to think I may need a couple blocks around the jump drive to build this attachable module the way I want. The first question is how to start this build. And I think I'll start with a simple mag plate to raise it off the ground a little and add the important connector. Then go straight into a small cargo container and also add a battery. This jump drive module should have its own power storage separate from Hail Mary. Now you'll get to see how absolutely monstrous this jump drive is. It's monolithic, but there it is, in skeletal form. We'll start the process of disassembling the 2,000 thruster components to build this thing. Really, what we're getting out of that is the gold to make all the superconductors. We're going to need to use the platinum and cobalt also, but the gold is what we're using at the moment. While the components are processing, it looks like it'll take a while. We'll build a short conveyor line and mount a welder next to the jump drive so it can automatically weld that up as the superconductors and other components are ready. Smart engineering. That's what we like to see. If we're going to be building in the dark, we should also add a light somewhere in this corner. I'm not sure I like that, but it's out of the way and gets the job done for now. That's the launch pad construction site. And after a few calculations, it's gonna take a few hours to disassemble 2,000 thruster components and build 1,000 superconductors. So we'll take that time to continue with the rest of the build because I'd like to do just a little more with this jump drive module than just have a jump drive. Tune in to the next episode to see how we finish off this jump drive module, and I'll see you then.